Good evening. We begin tonight here with the breaking news. There has been a deadly shooting at a busy shopping mall in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Gunfire erupting. Authorities just a short time ago say they believe bystanders were caught in the crossfire. Police racing to the scene. Shots erupting near the food court at the Mall of Louisiana. Tonight, at least one person killed, multiple people hit or injured. And just in tonight, there's news breaking on the manhunt. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, leading us off.
Tonight, Baton Rouge in shock after one person was killed and 5 others injured when gunfire erupted at the Mall of Louisiana.
Teams clearing first floor, north and south.
Police descending on the scene shortly before 1:30 this afternoon after a dispute at the mall turned into a gunfight.
2 groups of people got into an argument inside the food court and started shooting at each other. Unfortunately, there were some innocent people that were in the area that might have also caused some rounds.
The suspects then fleeing the mall, police deploying helicopters and drones and searching a nearby canal. The mall placed on lockdown, authorities scrambling to evacuate shoppers. Our affiliate WBRZ showing police escorting families with young children through the shopping center's parking lot. One mall worker describing chaos and indiscriminate gunplay.
I heard a loud pop and then another pop. I thought at first somebody was shooting fireworks in the food court. He was turning around, shooting randomly.
David, we're just getting word from the mayor of Baton Rouge that 5 people have been arrested in this mass shooting. But David, tonight this remains an active investigation.
All right, Pierre Thomas leading us off here. Pierre, thank you. Also developing right now this wildfire emergency across the southeast, Florida and Georgia. Nearly 90 homes burned to the ground now. Firefighters battling from the ground and in the air tonight. Authorities say dozens of new fires breaking out in just the last 24 hours. Morgan Norwood from the fire zone tonight.
Tonight, new evacuation orders in Georgia and more homes lost as hundreds of firefighters battle multiple wildfires.
We currently have 87 living spaces that have been destroyed. If this fire doesn't shift, we could have more than that before dark tonight.
Authorities say in the past 24 hours, at least 34 new fires have broken out across the state. The 2 largest, the 5,000-acre Highway 82 fire outside Savannah in Brantley County, and the nearly 30,000-acre Pineland Road fire south of there, are both still out of control. Our Matt Rivers behind the fire lines.
The fire here in Brantley County exploded incredibly quickly. You can see there's still hot spots back there. This is what's left of a mobile home completely destroyed by this fire. Dozens of people forced to flee with nothing to come back to.
My house is gone.
The loss for so many here, overwhelming.
Oh my God.
Caitlin Strait gasping at the destruction of her family's home.
Look at my stove.
Hers, one of more than 50 homes that county officials say have been lost so far. In Atkinson, Georgia, we met Craig Jacobs and his 6-year-old daughter, Cora, putting out hotspots in their own backyard. Their home was spared.
It's very heartbreaking to see our neighbors going through what they're going through, but we're out here doing what we can do, pulling together as a community.
Jacobs is also a firefighter. Many here battling the fires while worrying about their own homes.
And David, officials here in Brantley County calling this a dynamic fire with conditions changing by the minute. The concern now is that they may have to call in FEMA for additional resources. David?
Morgan Norwood in the fire zone tonight for us. Morgan, thank you. Let's get right to our senior meteorologist, Lee Goldberg, tracking the fires. And there's also a major line of severe storms and possible tornadoes tonight. So, Lee, I know you're going to start with this continuing fire danger.
David, historically dry weather, and it continues right through the weekend with just one minor interruption here. So we have blowing smoke, and that's across parts of Georgia and into the Carolinas. That's prompting air quality alerts. Then onto the west, you have red flag warnings. They stretch from New Mexico all the way to Minnesota. In the plains, active tornado warnings. Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa. There's already been one reported tornado and ping pong ball size hail. The severe risk, it shifts south on Friday from northeast Texas to Mississippi. Hail and damaging winds. And then the threat, it's right back into the plains as we go through Saturday. This is going to continue into next week. One positive, David, weekend rain in the southeast and some beneficial rain from D.C. to right here in New York. David?
Yeah, they need it for sure. Lee Goldberg, thank you tonight. There are breaking developments in the war in Iran. President Trump ordering the U.S. Navy to shoot and kill any boat laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. And in the Oval Office late today, the president was asked how much longer should Americans expect this war to last and how long gas prices will be this high. Mary Bruce tonight from the White House.
Tonight, showdown in the Strait. President Trump announcing he has ordered the military to, quote, shoot and kill any Iranian boats that may be laying mines in the vital passageway. The U.S. is also enforcing its own blockade of Iranian ports.
We intend to conduct the boarding of your vessel,
stopping tankers from coming or going. It comes after Iran flexed its own muscles. Iranian state TV broadcasting this produced video claiming to show masked soldiers boarding a commercial cargo ship, guns in hand. Tonight, no plans for the two sides to resume negotiations.
I don't want to rush myself. I'm not under any pressure whatsoever.
The president says he extended the ceasefire with no end date to give Iran time to draw up their own peace proposal. Trump insisting the regime is fractured and, quote, in turmoil.
They have all new leadership and they're fighting like cats and dogs.
But security sources we spoke with paint a different picture of the Iranian regime, not one of chaos and turmoil. One source familiar with the intelligence tells ABC News there is no clear evidence of fractures at the level of core decision making. Tonight, Iran's foreign minister insists Iran's state institutions continue to act with unity, purpose, and discipline. At the war's outset, Trump predicted it would last 4 to 6 weeks. It's now heading into week 9. The president today saying that's not much compared to other conflicts.
We were in the Korean War for 7 years.
But reporters pressing.
I mean, what do you say to the American people who question how much longer this will take? Obviously, you know that they are having higher...
You're such a disgrace. Did you hear what I just said? Vietnam. How many years was Vietnam?
Reporters then asking about gas prices, now averaging more than $4 a gallon, up more than $1 since the start of the war.
If you need more time, does that mean Americans should anticipate spending more on gasoline for the foreseeable future?
For a little while. And you know what they get for that? You know what they get for that? Iran without a nuclear weapon.
And David, late today, President Trump announcing a 3-week extension of the ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon, where Israel has been striking Iranian-backed Hezbollah targets. Iran had been pushing for that ceasefire as a condition for broader talks. But again, David, those talks still not on the books.
Mary Bruce live from the White House again tonight. Thank you, Mary. Just in tonight, ABC News has now learned that a U.S. Special Forces soldier is under arrest tonight. Authorities say that soldier was involved in the U.S. operation to capture Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro. He's now accused of pocketing nearly $500,000 for betting on Maduro's capture before President Trump announced the capture. Here's Aaron Katersky tonight.
Tonight, a U.S. Special Forces soldier involved in the daring military operation that captured Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela is under arrest for allegedly pocketing nearly $500,000 by betting on the top-secret raid before it even happened. Gannon Ken Van Dyke was part of the U.S. Special Forces that moved under the cover of darkness to snatch the Venezuelan leader. Days earlier, federal prosecutors say Van Dyke began placing bets totaling more than $33,000 on Polymarket that Maduro would be removed from office by the end of January. Polymarket said that series of bets net Van Dyke more than $400,000. Back when President Trump announced the U.S. had captured Maduro, he praised the troops involved.
These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position.
But tonight, one of them is now charged with fraud and unlawful use of confidential government information for personal gain, marking the first time the Justice Department is prosecuting someone for exploiting inside knowledge to win big on a prediction market. Tonight, the president was asked if he's concerned government insiders are getting rich by betting on prediction markets.
It sounds like he was betting on his removal from office, that Maduro would be removed. It sounds like he was involved in the operation.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete Rose. Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team. I'll look into it.
The president was also asked tonight about betting in connection with the war in Iran, David, and whether he has concerns about insider trading there. The president saying the whole world has become something of a casino. He says he's not happy about it, but it's a crazy world. David?
Our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, thank you. Next tonight, after that deadly collision at LaGuardia Airport in New York, tonight a preliminary NTSB report is now out on the collision between an Air Canada jet and that fire truck. Investigators say the fire truck failed to stop at red lights designed to prevent runway collisions, and that air traffic controllers never received alerts of an impending collision because the fire truck did not have a transponder. The NTSB says one firefighter in the truck did hear a call to stop, but did not realize it was meant for them. 2 pilots were killed, of course, dozens of others hurt. We turn next tonight here to the harrowing images. Hikers climbing a volcano suddenly scrambling for their lives as the volcano erupts, shooting ash and debris just a few feet from them. Here's Victor Akendo with the pictures tonight.
Tonight, the heart-pounding moment a volcano in Guatemala suddenly erupted just as tourists were climbing toward the crater. The group forced to turn around and race down the slope to safety. A massive plume of ash shooting in the air, sending debris raining down. Video posted on Facebook showing panicked hikers nearby capturing that eruption from the ground just as they scrambled to escape a giant ash cloud and dodge flying rocks. Carlos Porres captured that eruption from a nearby peak.
We saw a group of tourists go too close to the crater of the volcano, and they were surprised by the eruption.
Santiaguito is an active volcano nicknamed the Death Trail and one of the most dangerous in Central America because of sudden eruptions spewing ash, rock, and toxic gas. Tourists are banned from hiking there, but they routinely ignore restrictions. Officials in Guatemala are urging people to stay away from the volcano because it is so unpredictable, telling tourists your life is worth more than a photo. David?
All right, Victor Akendo tonight. Thank you. There is news tonight about a chilling plot. A former police officer from North Carolina arrested for allegedly planning a mass shooting at a large festival in New Orleans. Christopher Gillum arrested at a hotel in Florida. Authorities say he made terror threats. Authorities say they found a gun and about 200 rounds of ammunition in his hotel room. Tonight, an award-winning chef at the University of Massachusetts Amherst is arrested and charged with murdering his own wife. Her body found inside a campus hotel room. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, an award-winning chef at UMass Amherst now behind bars, accused of killing his wife in a hotel room on campus. Jeffrey McDonald in court this morning, his lawyer entering a not guilty plea on his behalf.
UMPD is yelling about having a body down and needing additional personnel.
Just before 8 p.m. Wednesday, police responding to a 911 call about an emergency at Hotel UMass about 90 miles from Boston. According to the criminal complaint, a violent struggle erupted between McDonald and officers, McDonald allegedly striking one officer repeatedly in the face. Police then finding McDonald's wife dead inside a hotel room. McDonald's wife suffering injuries resulting from a violent assault, according to the complaint. McDonald allegedly telling investigators he'd intentionally beaten his wife to death, using hands, feet, as well as a variety of other blunt objects.
Congratulations, Chef Jeff McDonald.
Less than a year ago, McDonald, seen here in a TikTok video posted by UMass in 2024, was named Chef of the Year by the American Culinary Federation, one of the most prestigious honors in the industry.
David, that husband is being held without bail. In a statement, UMass called the news heartbreaking and deeply unsettling. David.
Stephanie Ramos reporting. Stephanie, thanks. Tonight, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, cutting 10% of its workforce. Meta saying it will lay off about 8,000 employees beginning next month. The company also canceling plans to fill 6,000 open roles. The company says it plans to invest more on developing artificial intelligence. Tonight, an historic policy shift on medical marijuana by the Department of Justice. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche signing an order reclassifying state-licensed medical marijuana from a Schedule I drug to a less dangerous Schedule III drug. The move does not legalize marijuana for recreational use. When we come back here tonight, what's being called a groundbreaking treatment to restore hearing. Also, look at this, the close call for a truck driver and a school bus. The truck blaring the horn, a school bus appearing to run a red light. Also, the terrifying moment a hiker comes face to face with the bear, the moment the bear starts to charge, and what that hiker does right there to save his own life. And of course, live on ABC tonight, the NFL draft, why the presumed #1 pick tonight is watching from home. Pretty good reason. We'll be right back. Tonight, the FDA approving the first ever medical treatment that helps deaf children with a rare genetic condition to hear. Until now, the only treatment was a cochlear implant, restoring sound but not normal hearing. Regeneron tonight says it will offer the new gene therapy called Tarmeni. A truck driver in New Orleans narrowly avoiding a collision with a school bus. That truck driver slamming the brakes, stopping just in time. That bus appearing to run a red light, stopping right in the path of oncoming traffic there. When we come back tonight, that hiker face to face with a grizzly bear, what the hiker does to save his own life. And you have to see this lobster on Cape Cod given a second chance at life tonight, and you'll see why. To the index of other news tonight, terrifying moments on a Southern California hiking trail. A hiker coming face to face with a brown bear. He tried to scare the bear away. The bear then heads for him. The hiker says he jumped into the bushes and waited for the bear to wander off. On Cape Cod, Massachusetts tonight, a second chance for one lobster, a rare split-colored lobster saved. The Wellfleet Shellfish Company says it caught this half and half colored lobster off Cape Cod. They call it a once in 50 million catch. The lobster will soon be headed to an aquarium in Massachusetts for the public to now check out. Saved from the lobster roll. When we come back here tonight, the NFL Draft live right here on ABC, and why the presumed #1 pick tonight is going to watch right from home. Finally tonight, the NFL Draft live on ABC, the presumed #1 pick watching from home with good reason. Here's Rhiannon Alley.
Tonight, we are just moments away. The NFL Draft, the future of the NFL, about to begin in Pittsburgh. The prediction for #1 pick? The Las Vegas Raiders expected to choose Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Family front and center for Mendoza when he won the Heisman Trophy, thanking his mom Elsa, who lives with MS.
Mommy, this is your trophy as much as it is mine. You've always been my biggest fan. You're my light. You're my why. You're my biggest supporter. Together, you and I are rewriting what people think is possible. I love you.
Mendoza will not be at tonight's ceremony, but rather at home, surrounded by loved ones.
I wanted to stay and make the memory with everybody who poured into my football journey. Mentors, coaches, family, friends. You want to share that moment with all of them is going to be the best memory that I can make.
Other big names to watch tonight, Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love is expected to go in the top 10.
It means everything to me, you know. I've been working to get to this point ever since I was about 6 years old.
And KC Concepcion, a Texas A&M wide receiver, projected to go late in the first round, known for his excellent hands on the field and in the kitchen.
I started cooking for my teammates whenever I first got down here. They didn't really know what to expect from me. From the reactions that I got, I exceeded those expectations.
Already a social media all-star for his culinary skills, cooking his mom's recipes for his team. David, with 32 picks in the first round, expect movement, surprises, maybe even some shakeups. It's all in the road to Super Bowl 61, which airs right here on ABC next February, and it all starts right here in Pittsburgh tonight. David.
That's right, Rhiannon. Thank you. The Super Bowl coming to ABC, and you can watch round 1, the NFL Draft tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. Good night.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America.